Hi everyone, it's Vivi. This week I'm going to do a slightly different anime roundup focused on romance animes to watch just in time for Valentine's Day. So let's get started. First up is Wotakoi. What I like about this romance is that it centers around working adults and that there's no will they, won't they. Initially, the two main characters start dating for convenience, at least on Momose's side, which is why it's great to watch their romance unfold and see how they support each other in different ways. There's another romance between the B couple who have been dating since high school, so you get to see a different dynamic. And while the two bicker all the time, you can tell that they do care for each other when they're able to put aside their pride. While there's only one season of the show, what was adapted was great, and hopefully there will be another season in the future, or maybe I'll just have to scoop up the completed manga series. One anime I'm surprised that more people haven't heard of is Love After World Domination. It hits all the marks: comedy, wholesome moments, fan service, and even a little bit of background story for those who want to get to know the characters more. The story follows Fudo, who is the leader of the Hero Squad, and Desumi, who is one of the commanders of the evil Gecko organization. The anime starts off with them already in a relationship, and they have to navigate their first dating experiences while also hiding their relationship from their team members. The comedy definitely shines through with the various actions they take when their teammates almost find out their relationship, and their growing romance brings in all of the fluffiness you could ever want. I also appreciate that there are some more grounded themes about choosing your own path in life, so if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go check it out. Kaguya-Sama Love is War is another great romance anime that manages to expertly mix comedy, romance, and some more serious elements. Somehow the anime manages to blend all of these together in a seamless way so there isn't too much tonal whiplash. While you know deep down the two main characters will end up together, it's really about who will be able to move past the personal issues and confess first. While that tension holds throughout the first season, it's broken up by bits of comedy introduced by the side characters. While this anime might not break the mold, the characters are likable and understandable, and the pacing is done so well that you really don't care that it's not original. My Dress-Up Darling is another favorite of mine. I love the fact that the guy is the one who is more soft-spoken, and it's the girl who seems to actually fall in love first. I appreciate the fact that it also showcases traditional Japanese art like doll making and more modern art like cosplay. I love how the male lead Gojo isn't just some generic quiet guy, and that he has a passion and focus in life, much like Marin, the female lead, isn't just some ditzy girl. It's nice to have characters with depth and hobbies that carry through the entire story, and it's not just the main characters, it's also the side characters as well, and seeing what their motivation is for cosplaying or their own hobbies in life. Most romance lovers will already be familiar with Kimi no Todoke, which is definitely a classic romance story about a kind but shy girl who, because of her pale skin and long black hair, is often seen as creepy, and of course she falls for the cheerful and popular boy. While the plot isn't necessarily original, I do like the fact that the girl manages to grow and evolve thanks to the help of her friends and her crush. It's nice to see the female lead become more assertive, and while she might be kind, she also stands her ground and calls people out when necessary. And while she puts the guy she likes on a pedestal, it's also nice to see that he isn't all sunshine and rainbows and he does have his own faults. There's also a childhood romance arc that happens with the side characters that is also quite sweet and very natural. Recovery of an MMO Junkie is another that didn't seem to get too much love. Much like Wotakoi, what drew me to this initially was the fact that it was about adults and not high schoolers. It also starts off with a pretty dark premise that the female lead quits her job because she was suffering from horrific burnout and just couldn't deal with it anymore. So essentially, she quits her job and decides to become a shut-in and play online MMOs. During her gaming adventures, she meets another person who she clicks with online, and then, by chance, they end up meeting in real life. While they don't start dating by the end of the anime, it does hint to them moving in that direction. The romance itself is reminiscent of high school romance, as the two main leads seem to have zero idea on how a relationship works, but in context, it makes sense as these are two socially anxious people. Personally, the romance isn't the main draw for me. It's seeing how the female lead deals with her personal issues and her own agoraphobia and pushes past it. My Love Story is a super wholesome romance between a cute girl and a sweet but unconventional looking guy. It kind of turns the standard plain girl ends up with hot guy on its head, which I appreciate. Plus, the two are adorable, and I appreciate that the hot guy is actually just a secondary character, and the support for the male lead. While a romantic comedy, I'd say that this has more fluffy moments than comedic moments. It's also nice to see a true friendship between the male lead and his friend, to the point where the latter won't bother with any girls because they talk poorly about his friend. I also appreciate that the couple get together early on, and it's about watching their relationship grow and dealing with their own insecurities. It's very sweet and cute, and I highly recommend it. School Rumble is an oldie but a goodie, and I'd say there's a lot more comedy here than romance, but there is still plenty of romance, and of the classic variety if that's what you like. There's a lot of uncommunicated emotions, love triangles, and misunderstandings, and yet it doesn't get too melodramatic as a lot of the angst is wrapped in comedy. I love that all the characters have their moments of silliness, but obviously the ones taking the cake are the male and female lead. Both of them are, shall we say, dumb as rocks. And despite the overall comedic nature of the story, there are plenty of more serious elements that delve a bit deeper into the characters. If you want a good laugh and some romantic hijinks, this is a great option. My teen romantic comedy SNAFU might not seem like a romance initially, especially with the male lead the way he is, but you definitely get there as the seasons progress. However, the focus is more on the growth of each of the characters, expanding their horizons, and learning to trust themselves and other people. Since the anime is told from the point of view of the male lead, you really learn more about why he is the way that he is and why he makes certain decisions, even if they end up hurting him. It's interesting to see someone make these flawed choices and get called out for it. It's even more interesting to see how he grows and changes because he realizes that others actually do care for him. While you can pretty much guess who the male lead will end up with, it really is the journey getting there that keeps this engaging. And it wouldn't be a romance list without Fruits Basket. You can watch the 2001 or 2019 version, but the 2019 version is more accurate to the manga. While the anime comes off kind of bubbly and cheerful in the beginning, it quickly becomes more of a drama romance than rom-com. While the central story centers around the mysterious Soma family, it's also about how the female lead is still dealing with the grief of losing her mother. While she seems kind of ditzy on the surface, there's a lot going on that's just bubbling to come out. While I'm not a fan of love triangles, I do appreciate the relationship building in this series between the main love interests, and honestly, you know who she's going to pick at the end. I also love the female lead's two friends, and hey, we also get some great backstory on them too. Everyone is very fleshed out, and this is a slow burn, so you can really understand why everyone acts the way they do. And spoiler, it's usually because of trauma. Have you watched any of these series? Which ones did you like? What romance series have you watched that you would recommend? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this kind of content, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!